Today we talk about literature review, review of literature. It talks about a very important and critical component in the research process. While we talk about research, we generally say it is searching or researching. So when it comes to searching, we talk about past. In general also, it is this past which builds the ground for future. And here what the idea of literature review communicates. Review of literature talks about how do we review the past work to pave way for future. Let me begin with decentralizing the word, breaking up the word review of literature. So I believe we need to understand literature and its review. So when I say literature, it says all material, all published information, all about the data, the method, the idea, the concept, the theory, the methods, the techniques, the results, the conclusions, the findings, suggestions. Whatever is said in past, we try to put it together in order to make some sense, in order to build the road for future walking. The future road can be traversed only when we know where do we come from. Of course, where do we want to go is also important. So, review means understanding, relating, reviewing, analyzing, synthesizing, summarizing whatever is said in the past with respect to a particular subject or your area and then making sense out of it. So literature review, it means searching for different documents. What are these documents? We call later. But searching for different documents, whatever has been done in the past in context of what problem you have in hand. So important becomes that you define your problem, if not problem, at least the broad area which we want to focus upon. So collecting all information in the form of documents, what I said, they mean the journal articles, books, writings from the government, working papers, conference papers, published research, sometimes even the unpublished research. We collect them all and then try to make sense out of it. Making sense out of it means we try to find certain concepts, we try to find certain trends, we try to find out what has been talked about, what more could be talked about in future. So literature review means finding out the past so that it makes sense to travel into future. When talking about documents, I repeat, it just does not include the black and white literature, which means the documented things, but it also includes the grey literature. And grey literature means that which is not easily and publicly available. Like again, I repeat, it could be some government paper, it could be some policy document from the government or non-government organizations, it could be some conference papers, it could be in the form of the unpublished research which is lying either in the libraries as working paper or unpublished information by whatever name called. So, literature review is a written document which is not a standard document. It is not that every literature review comes in this standardized format, because the purpose for which we review the literature, it varies. Sometimes literature review is a part of the detailed thesis, dissertation, which could be a doctoral thesis, it could be a MPhil thesis, or could be a thesis at a lower level, at a PG level or so. In other cases, it could be for a journal article. In some cases, it is a full-fledged article called by literature review paper, or it may be called as a meta-analysis, which we can talk later about. So, the concept, idea, principle and the philosophy behind literature review remains the same. But the purpose for which it is being written, that would define its format. If, of course, it is for a dissertation, it would be more detailed, covering different sections. Also, taking into account the different developments, putting together all the threads and making them sensible outcome. But if it is just a part of an article where we talk about literature review, it would be a brief thing, but the philosophy remains the same. So I would say that literature review is a mandatory exercise. It is one where a researcher does not have a choice. It is also said that this literature review is like laying down the foundation for a strong research building, over which we keep on adding layers, and the stronger the foundation, the better, more beautiful, more sturdy would be the building. I also put it like this: if we raise this building very diligently, very intelligently, then there will be no question of raising it off, R-A-Z-I-N-G. So to build a strong building which lasts, to which people can relate, which sets an example, the literature review becomes the backbone of research. In order to make your research effective and impactful, the literature review needs to be comprehensive, well-founded, thorough, and then we are on set on our journey to successful research.